Welcome back to the channel. Let's explore together. Today we're going to check out something a little interesting. It's called Arthur C. Clarke Predicts the Internet in 1964. Now in the 60s, the internet was already kind of in process of being created. I think the first email was sent either in the late 60s or early 70s. But I do find clips like this interesting, and it ran across my recommended. I thought we'd watch it together. Let's see Arthur Clarke's take.
But what about the city of the day after tomorrow, say the year 2000? I think it will be completely different. In fact, it may not even exist at all. Oh, I'm not thinking of the atom bomb and the next Stone Age. I'm thinking of the incredible breakthrough which has been made possible by developments in communications, particularly the transistor and, above all, the communications satellite. These things will make possible a world in which we can be in instant contact with each other, wherever we may be, where we can contact our friends anywhere on Earth, even if we don't know their actual physical location.
Well, don't worry. Soon they'd make IP addresses and stuff to try to know their actual physical location. Doxing.
It will be possible in that age, perhaps only 50 years from now, for a man to conduct his business from Tahiti or Bali just as well as he could from London.
Welcome Zoom meetings.
In fact, if it proves worthwhile, almost any executive skill, any administrative skill, even any physical skill, could be made independent of distance.
And they're working on perfecting that with some VR technologies. There's some if you don't keep up on what's going on in VR, just know that's next. With quantum computing and VR working hand in hand, that's next. That's why Facebook is doing their metaverse and stuff. They're trying to get ahead of the curve. I think we're probably still a decade or two off from really where VR is going. But wearable technology VR, that's where we're headed, because once you introduce some of the stuff with some of the digital AI camera processing, and if we could get quantum computing to work, the idea of being able to go into, you know, a virtual reality, Star Trek holodeck type of thing and not really feel like you're in a VR is going to be very real. Some of that technology is being used so you could do complex surgery type things from a distance, like practice it and actually feel and have tactile feedback. I'm not going to go too far into it, but just know that that's what's next, is variants of virtual reality, and potentially, if we can figure it out, getting quantum computing correctly, which means a whole slew of things for artificial intelligence and mapping your own neurology to basically do crazy things.
I'm perfectly serious when I suggest that one day we may have brain surgeons in Edinburgh operating on patients in New Zealand. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was talking about. That will, we're almost there. We have sort of issues. We kind of do that with, like, you know, collaborative efforts, real-time video, but we are very close to having machines that are precise enough to do brain surgery remotely with a virtual reality more safely than if you were doing it in real time in person. We're almost there. We can do it. It's just not common practice. So, you know, he was hoping for the year 2000 for some of this. So maybe, you know, it took a little more time than he thought it would. And that's usually how it is. But he's not wrong.
When that time comes, the whole world will have shrunk to a point. And the traditional role of the city as a meeting place for man would have ceased to make any sense.
It has ceased to make any sense, but people still live in the cities. We got to stop doing that. But a lot of people are leaving big cities like New York and stuff because they're finally figuring it out.
In fact, men will no longer commute. They will communicate.
Our communication skills still suck, and we're still trying to commute. People are still trying to catch up with the technology. We'll get there. We'll get to the point that we can live in our own cave unless we want to. The pandemic's helping us get there, but we just need better VR. I'm completely okay being a hermit in my house with a great VR experience and only seeing people when I want to. People suck.
They won't have to travel for business anymore. They'll only travel for pleasure.
Exactly.
I only hope that when that day comes, and when the city is abolished, the whole world isn't turned into one giant suburb.
Well, it kind of is. No, we're watching Mr. Beast's Squid Game later. Well, let me know what you thought about that below. Don't forget to subscribe if you like that. And of course, until we explore again, I'll see you next time.